Hello everyone, Regina here, and as promised, we're going to be making our flag with 2 yards of material, and then we're going to make one with 3 yards, and then we're going to make one with 4 yards to see how big we can get. The difference between the yardage, we have flags that so far we've been making out of 1 yard. I've made them out of 2 yards before, but let me show you what it looks like with 1 yard versus 2 yards. You have, this is from 1 yard right here, which is still a nice flag. But if you want your flag to be bigger, of course you're going to want to use more material. This is 2 yards right here. And as you can see, the difference between the two, this is 1 yard and this is 2 yards. And we're going to be making the flags using 2 yards of material. Excuse my backside. This is 2 yards that's already been cut. And like I was telling you in past videos, that when you buy your material, of course you know it's going to come on a spool like this. And this is from the manufacturer. So when you get your material and you go over and you have them to cut your material into 2 yards, it's always going to come folded like this. That's why you have that seam. That's the manufacturer's seam. And you're going to have that seam, and then they're going to fold it up and they're going to give it to you. And then this is what you're going to have when you get home. And if you do not reroute your material and you cut your flag, you're going to be wasting your material. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take it and you're going to want to flip it around. You want to flip it to make it bigger. And you want to have that seam going down. And then now you can see that you have the material that you want. So you're gonna want to flip it around. Get rid of that manufacturer seam. You don't want to cut at the manufacturer seam. You want it to be going down your material. So make sure that you flip it. If you don't, you're going to be disappointed and you're not going to get the size flag that you want, and you're going to be wasting material. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in, you're going to lay it out. I would recommend getting you some nice scissors because chiffon runs and snags very easily. So you want to make sure that you have scissors just for your chiffon. In other words, that nobody else is going to be using, because it is very fragile when it comes to cutting. And then we're going to cut our material, and we're just going to go around like a moon. That's going to give you that round edge. Now remember, we're not going to be using any machines. We're not going to be sewing by hand. The only thing we're going to be doing is cutting the shape that we want. If you want to leave this square, you can leave it square as well. And I'll show you how to make a box fan flag as well. We're going to be making that. You can come around. I hope you guys can see this. And I'm going to come over. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to cut it, and they're going to meet our cut. And all you're doing is you're cutting away that factory edge as well. You're giving some depth to your flag. If you ever wanted to start that dance team, you have a youth program, it's also great for color guard. If you have a color guard, there's an uprising color guard, cheerleader. You can make your own flags. I'm gonna come in and we're gonna cut all of that off. And we're not gonna throw this away. We're not gonna throw it away. We're gonna keep it because we're gonna end up using it. So make sure that you keep your material. I'm gonna tell you, if it weren't for the grace of God, I wouldn't have any grace. I can run in high heels, or used to anyway, but let's just put it back in place and then finish our cut. I hope y'all can see this, but if you can't, please forgive me. Forgive my head or my backside, or whatever you're seeing right now at the moment. And don't be so concerned with the cut, because you're gonna come back in with your fire and round it up. And then you're gonna come back here. And then we're gonna separate it. Try not to let your scissors run away with you with chiffon, because you know, with some material you can just go straight down with your scissors. You don't want to do that because it will become frayed and you will run it. So make sure that you cut it yourself instead of letting your scissors do that edge cut. Make sure you actually cut it. You don't want to damage your material. And there's your first cut. Let me show you something. What we're going to do is we're going to be using our sticks. Let's see, where are our sticks? And you have different size sticks. As you guys know, you have the smaller sticks. They're all 36 inches. Of course, your width. And it just depends on you and what size sticks that you want to use. The bigger the flag, the thicker the stick. You have flax rods that you can use as well. These are about $27 a piece, depending on the length that you get. If you're on a budget, then you'll want to go to Hobby Lobby and invest in you some bamboo poles. Like this one is 3/8. All of them are going to be 36 inches, but just so that you can see the difference. And they're color coded so that you can see the difference in what they look like, except for the smaller ones. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. The different sizes. But we are going to be using 3/8 today. And they do get thicker and thicker. So we already have this one. And don't throw away, like I said, don't throw away your material, because you can come back in and use them later on. And we all know that you want to get the heat bond hem adhesive because it works better than any seam tape that I've ever used. So you want to get this one right here is what it looks like. You want to get you some feathers. Guinea feathers are amazing. You can also get peacock feathers as well, but the guinea feathers are quite beautiful as well. We're going to be using, I think, the peacock feathers. You can get these at Hobby Lobby as well. I've had mine for a while. I haven't had to buy any. I don't even know how much they cost now, but they used to cost $2.97 for a pack of 6. And then they have the little eyelet at the top where you can run your material through. The reason I say don't throw away your material is because we're going to be using some of it, cut it, uniform it, run it through so that we can attach it to the end of our flag. So that's what we're going to be doing in a minute. We've got our seam tape. We're going to be using that, but for the most part, what we do have here now is we have our first flag. And it's going to be pretty big. We have our iron, which is already heated and ready to go, and our glue gun is already heated and ready to go. And make sure that your iron is set for synthetics, because you can melt your chiffon quicker than quick gets ready. So you want to make sure that your iron is on a proper setting. And also what you want to do is you want to make sure that nobody else uses your iron. So if you're ironing blue jeans and other things with your iron, make sure that you have your own personal iron, your own personal scissors that no one else uses. And then that way you don't ruin your material, your chiffon. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to set up to bring in our flag pole and our adhesive to adhere the material to itself. I would use a thicker seam tape. The bigger the flag is, that's why I'm using the thicker tape. And you're going to measure it. Always leave a little bit to hang off the sides as well. And then we're going to be taking this off right here, which we're going to be using our heat gun. And I think I may have one that I've already taken that off of. Oh, I had one and I don't anymore. So we're going to remove that. The reason I removed them is because you can see them, the tags through your flag material, and it looks kind of gaudy. Sometimes they'll peel right off, but oftentimes they won't. So this just happens to be one of those times that is peeling off. Praise Jesus. Let's put some air circulation in here. So we didn't have to use our heat gun. We'll just throw that away. And let's get our iron. And things are so expensive these days. My heat gun, my glue stick gun, it broke, so I had to go and get another one. I had no idea how much these little things cost. These glue stick guns, my goodness, used to be $1.99. This was the cheapest one. I think it was $7.99. And chiffon is very expensive as well. So if you find it on sale, I found mine on sale, as many of you know if you watch my videos, when it was $2.99 a yard. And I'm so glad that I bought in bulk, because now I think it's up to $7.99 per yard. And that's at Hobby Lobby. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna come in and we're gonna fold it. Get that fold right. You can make these flags to sell as a side hustle. You can even experiment with the dyes, as you've seen me do with the Imoqui dyes. This is the idea of making your flags and then making them your own. See, look at that, it's on a cotton wool blend, which means that somebody has been using my iron. Unbeknownst to me, that's for sure. But you always gotta check it, expect it. If you have family, you're always going to have someone that thinks your things are better than what they already have, which is okay, I guess. And oftentimes that is absolutely not the case. We always think that something that someone else has is better than what we have, until we come near losing it, and then we realize, hey, I actually had it pretty dang good. Maybe that's just me. We're going to tap it just a little bit and make sure that it's cooled off. And we're going to come back with a little bit of steam. I'm going to iron that seam in. Just a little bit of steam. Because you're also going to want to iron out that manufacturer's line that's in there as well. And just run it up against the stick. This is really easy to do and fun to make. Do you have to use chiffon? No, you don't have to use chiffon. Can you use satin? Yes, you can use satin. I'm going to show you what that will look like. Look at the seam in. But like I said, you can make these as big or as small as you want. And now, do you see this right here? This means that not only did someone use my iron, this means that someone dropped my iron. Yeah, that's too bad. So I'm not going to be able to use my steam. Wow. Telltale signs that somebody's been in your marketplace. No one takes care of your things better than you. Look at that. See? Perfect example. Perfect example. Now I was just telling you, be careful Don't let anybody mess with your stuff. And look at that. Wow. I do declare. So now I'm gonna have to go back to my old trusted, my older one. And I just got that iron. As a matter of fact, it's a new iron. This is somebody came in here, had their way, and left me. Wow. And that's something. Only thing I didn't have to do was bend over. Hello. Let me see if we can get that. I hate that. Let's see if it'll work on any setting. Any setting at all? Now y'all saw. You saw exactly what happened. See, that's not right. But I'm glad that you got a chance to see this. So it would be very wise. But I hate hiding my things, though. I mean, I really do. You shouldn't have to hide your things. And whoever messed with my iron knows that they messed it up. And the thing is that I have zero proof of who it was. So I can only take blame myself. So let's see. See if we can get it going. But look at that, y'all. Look at that. You see that? You saw my iron give out on me. And I'm using it like nothing's wrong. See? Somebody dropped it. I was wondering, you know. But what I do is I think, okay, well, you know, it's not in the place that I left it in because, you know, I'm 65 years old. Sometimes I forget and, you know, hey, I must have done this or I must have done that. I'm gonna tell you something. This is how old this iron is. It's so old that I had to mark the temperatures on there. That's how old this is. I think I got this back in 1998. Look at that. Proctor. If I'm even reading it right. But you saw it here first. See if I can't get this chiffon dried out a little bit. And obviously it's going to leave a stain. Yeah, it's going to leave a stain. And this is a prime on what not to do. So you don't end up with what I'm getting ready to show you. Be specific and tell people, do not use my scissors. Don't use these scissors. Do not use this iron. If I wasn't resting in Jesus so much, I'd be so mad about it right now. I would. I'd be so mad about it, y'all. But you know, who has the time? I don't have the time or the patience to be getting mad about it. I don't. Because what? What are you going to do? Get mad, lose your peace. I'm trying to stay peaceful because you know peaceful people are happy people. But I tell you, I don't have to eat a whole cow to realize I'm eating beef and somebody used my iron. I tell you that. And look at this one right here. Somebody, look at that. This is okay. This is what happens when you use, look at this. Look at that. You see all of that? Somebody used something on this iron. Dropped my other iron. Look at this one, and the hotter it gets, the more it exposes itself. So I am going to have to stop this video and clean my iron with a little bit of salt, or either get a new iron and finish this video. I'm sorry, guys. I really wanted to show you guys this, but maybe I got enough. I mean, look at that. Look at that stain right there. You see that stain? But this is what the flag was going to look like. Look how big that flag is. This is going to be continued. So, this is what it's going to look like. And then we'll put our feather on the end of it, close the end of it. I'm not going to do that until I can come back and show you guys how to do it. So until next time, we just had a lesson in using an iron on chiffon that is not worthy of the chiffon. Lessons on telling our people in our households, don't use my stuff or hide it. I wish I had hidden it now, but that's what it is, and I can't do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I'm going to take this material apart and wash it to get rid of that stain, because I did do some emoqui dye and apparently some of it bled off on my cover. But for the most part, here it is. You guys know my iron is broken. My backup iron is busted. Someone had their way with my iron. But here you go. Just a quick cap. This is with 1 yard. And this is with 2. You see the difference? This is 2. This is 1 yard. And you can see the difference in the amount of fabric. This is going to be a really nice flag. I'm really looking forward to pulling this flag together. And until next time, I bid you much peace in Jesus' name. See you soon with the continuation of this video. Bye.